Right, ladies and gentlemen, history beckons at Southampton as India take on New Zealand in a final which is being dubbed as the ultimate test. And in all due respect, it is of course something that we're all savouring. And in this Criclytics Man machine, we've got Saba Karim with us. Don't go anywhere, you want to watch this. Yep, we have Saba Karim joining us in the house. Saba, first and foremost, thank you for your time. Is this the most important test of all time?
I reckon it is, because this is the inaugural edition of the World Test Championship, which I think is a great idea from ICC's perspective. They need to bring in more context to test matches that have been played all over the world now. These bilateral series have got no more meaning because of this World Test Championship. And both these teams have made it to the final. They've worked very hard for the past 2 years. So I think it is their effort and their perseverance over the past 2 years that has resulted in both these two teams clashing in the final of the World Test Championship. And one more thing, Avnish, I would like to rate this higher than the World Cup ODI or the T20 World Cup, because I feel that test matches have got a different kind of a feeling altogether, and they need to be rated higher than the one day and the T20 matches.
Yeah, I mean, talk about cricketers treating Test cricket as the penultimate. I mean, the ultimate part of the game, really, and I think that stands true. Talk about New Zealand and India in this whole World Test Championship. Considering they had to play catch-up cricket, India, of course, needed results to go their way down under, and they did that beautifully in Brisbane, and then they came to India and they beat England. New Zealand, of course, trying to play catch-up cricket themselves with West Indies and Pakistan. Saba, my question to you here is, who has a better bowling lineup going into this all-important final?
I will go with New Zealand, Avnish, because I feel that the conditions are more suitable for New Zealand. They have a 4-pronged pace bowling attack, and they seem to have covered all bases. So they have Trent Boult and Tim Southee, who are majorly swing bowlers, and then you have someone like Neil Wagner, who bowls those short pitch deliveries, which poses a lot of problems for most of the batters. And then they also have the tall right arm pace bowler, which is Kyle Jamieson, and he has a knack of extracting that bounce on any kind of surface. Plus, I think in this test match they'll play Ejaz Patel, who is a very handy left arm spin bowler. So I think I'll go with New Zealand on this occasion.
Yeah, just so you guys know, we're recording this at a time where Virat Kohli's had his press conference, so India's team has been out. My next question was going to be whether Saba would see a 3-2 combination. It is a 3-2 combination because Ashwin Jadeja playing, and so is Shami Bumrah and of course Ishant Sharma. My 1-minute pitch here to you, Saba, is an interesting one. If you had to pick your ideal fantasy 11, because there are a lot of cricket fans watching this who'd want to, of course, make their best team out there, what would yours be, please?
Tough one, Avnish, but let me give it a shot. I'll go with experience. So I'll put Rohit Sharma and Tom Latham as the opening pair, because I feel both these players have got are high on experience and they have the necessary skills to play well on these tough conditions. Number 3 would be Kane Williamson. Number 4 is Virat Kohli. Number 5, Ajinkya Rahane, because he's got an excellent record at Southampton. He's done well in English conditions. Number 6, I'll put in Ross Taylor, because he has the experience, plus he seems to be in very good form. Number 7 for me is Rishabh Pant, the X Factor. Excellent skills in front of the stumps, as well as his glove work keeps improving each day. I bring in R. Ashwin as my lone spinner in the squad of 11. Plus, I have 3 pace bowlers. And in terms of pace bowling, I'll go with Trent Boult and Tim Southee, because both of them have the experience of bowling in these conditions. Plus, they are swing bowlers. And then I go with Jasprit Bumrah, because I feel that Jasprit Bumrah is capable of bowling well with the new ball as well as with the old ball. And I think the kind of action he has is very difficult to decipher. That would be my fantasy 11.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good fantasy 11 for you guys watching out there. Remember, Saba's a brave man. He's left out Pujara and the likes of Devon Conway. Let's see how it all transpires and his man versus machine predictions, because that's why we've got him right now for this preview. And let's start with the batsman, because at the end of the day, Criclytics has gone for Kane Williamson. Do you concur with the robot on this occasion?
I'll go with Virat Kohli. because I mean Virat Kohli has talked about the special status of Test matches with a firm belief that even BCCI should rework the contract, in which they have done. They have added more muscle in terms of Test matches. So I feel that Virat Kohli is up for this big game. So I'll put my money on Virat Kohli up.
Okay, love it. The fact that it's fire and ice going with the robot, you're going for the fire. Moving on to the bowlers then, because it's a tough one here because there's quite a few to choose from, like you mentioned. But the robot suggests that it's Kyle Jamieson.
Um, well, I'll go with Trent Bolt, Avnish. High on experience, an excellent swing bowler. Gets the ball to move away from the right-hander, and Trent Bolt will be up against number of right-handers in the Indian side. So he'll have a great opportunity to pick up some wickets for his side. So I think it has to be Trent Bolt.
Okay, Trent Bolt it is, and Indian fans will be hoping that it's one of their bowlers and not the Kiwi pacer. Let's see what you've got up your sleeve for the all-rounders. Ravichandran Ashwin is being backed by Criclytics. I'm sure you agree with this one.
Yes, Avnish, I'll go with R. Ashwin. With the past 2.5 years, I think the kind of growth that one has seen in R. Ashwin's skill has been exemplary, and I think he remains a key figure in the Indian lineup.
Yeah, we saw him bat brilliantly to save that test match, and not to forget that 400 wicket landmark that he got against England. Wicket keepers, it's a tough choice with, of course, Brendan McCullum, Vijay Watling with his ultimate test, and he's going to be, of course, leaving the New Zealand side of things after this. And there's Rishabh Pant. Would you go for the latter here?
Let's go with youth and exuberance. So I'll go with Rishabh Pant. For me, Rishabh Pant is a match winner, and he keeps growing each and every day. And I think the kind of confidence he brings onto the table for the Indian side is very heartening. He has his own way of playing the game, and I think Rishabh Pant is my man.
Yeah, Rishabh Pant is going to be backed by Criclytics too as well. So like for like in terms of Ashwin and Pant, but there's plenty of differences like you've seen. Let's see what you've gone for the result, because I'll put some numbers out here for you. 44% it's going for the win predictor for India to win this World Test Championship. There's of course the case of the draw, which is 26%, and New Zealand have a 30%. Now, where are you sitting on this fence?
Neutral venue, I go with India. And I say this because the scales are tilted in favor of India because of the number of experienced players they have in the squad. So they have Pujara at number 3, you have Virat Kohli at number 4. Before that, you have Rohit Sharma. Down the order, if you look at a bowling attack, you have Ishant Sharma, you have Bumrah, you have Mohammad Shami. Plus, you have two top quality spinners. You have Jadeja as well as R. Ashwin. So I think on paper at least, the Indian side looks far more balanced than New Zealand. It all depends on the kind of prowess they show on the field. But I think experience goes with this Indian side.
And I'll tell you what, Saba, if they manage to lift this coveted trophy, they'll be the first team in the history to win the 60-year World Cup, 50-year World Cup, the 20-year World Cup, and a Test Championship. That'll be quite something to remember. And who knows, rain might play a really different part, given that the weather forecast suggests that it's going to be rain for not just 5 days but all 6. But we'll hope and wait and fingers crossed that it really doesn't spoil the proceedings. Right, Saba, we have of course you joining us for the rest of the 5 days. So ladies and gentlemen, you should subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, because we're going to be picking the brains of Saba Karim throughout every day post-match. So wait and watch for that. Saba, final word, and you can take it away, please.
Exciting times for Indian cricket, and I think all the players know that very well. They've been through a very tough journey. The way they fought back in Australia by winning that series in Australia, came back. They still had to win the home series against England. They did all that in so much of style. So I think this is going to be exciting clash. New Zealand on the other side, extremely underrated, but I think over the past year and a half, they've done wonderfully well at home as well as away from their from Kiwiland. So it's going to be a very tense battle. But I'm again backing this Indian side to come good and win this inaugural edition of the World Test Championship. So my best wishes with the Indian side.
Yeah, that is music to my ears. It's of course going to be arguing with a lot of New Zealand fans going ahead, but that's the beauty of cricket. And for all you cricket fans out there, get on to cricket.com, because the Criclytics Man vs Machine videos are there to see, and that tool as well, which is the world's most powerful cricket predicting tool. That's all we have in this one. We'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. It's a goodbye from me, Atish.